This is a public announcement. Don't be afraid of the future. I keep on hearing it from everybody today. People are petrified and terrified of the future. They're terrified of AI. They're terrified of robotics. They're terrified, I'm going to lose my job. They're terrified in such a way that it makes them paralyzed. Terrified into paralyzation. Okay? That's not good. That keeps you in a fear state of mind as opposed to an open growth mindset. They want you to be afraid. If you watch the news, if you read all this stuff, the reason why people are able to control other human beings because of Jedi mind tricks. They fuck with your head. So when you're in this fear state of thinking doom and gloom of the future, well, yeah, your reality is doom and gloom, and they control you that way. They can manipulate you by making you vote for that candidate, or they can manipulate you by saying yes to something that you really don't know what you're saying yes to. So that's the first thing. Don't be controlled by this fear-based, I call it terrorism by the news. Because they're terrorizing your psyche on a day-to-day basis with all this bullshit on TV, bullshit on Facebook, bullshit on Twitter. And I think it's really important that you understand what you're listening to, what you're reading, and what you're viewing. It's time that you become a detective and kind of do your own work as opposed to being passively and just absorbing this information and being scared, okay? Become smarter than that. Become proactive and don't let them control your psyche. That's really important. That's number one. Number two, the whole idea of technology taking our jobs, the whole idea is asinine because you're basing that on old models. So we're basing it on the industrial system model. Well, what was before industrial system model? Small stores here and there. It wasn't a scalable model, right? So if you're looking at the evolution of like humans the last 10,000 years, you can't not base any old system to the new system. So what we're basing our system right now is a pre-industrial revolution system, or slightly pre-industrial. We're still kind of in it, hopefully leaving in the immediate future. But right now the model is you get up, you go to work, that's how the system works. We can't base that in the future. And the jobs that we have today, you gotta think outside the box. What happens if we really don't need so many jobs? That automation, certain versions of AI, there's different levels of AI, they're not all the same, but certain AI replace a bunch of things we do. Well, why are people hating on that? Well, I think we gotta look beyond that, and I think the whole society will transform for a better. Yeah, there's gonna be a growing process of growing pain, just like anything we do, but in the end, it's gonna be a better outcome for us as human beings. Like, look where we are right now. We're communicating vis-a-vis YouTube. We have this amazing form of communication. It wasn't possible even like 20 years ago. People are making billions of dollars online, not owning anything. Facebook doesn't own anything. Airbnb doesn't own anything. Uber doesn't own anything. So we're living in such an amazing time, and I think we're at the precipice right now where it's up to you to decide what you want to do in the future. Do you want to stay behind, listen to the old regime that's telling you, you gotta go to school, you gotta do this, and fear-based tactics, and the future's gonna be doom and gloom, and yada, 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 bullshit, or you're gonna say, fuck all that stuff, you're gonna wake up and realize that the future is bright. There's a lot of things you can do. There's technologies here that are transforming and empowering people, billions of people around the world, and it's up to us to utilize these technologies and wake up and realize that true empowerment comes from you as an individual, as opposed to relying on governments. Most people rely on governments, or relying on big corporations, or relying on any other, let's say, foundation, organization, or entity out there, as opposed to you. When you take onus and responsibility for yourself, you accept the fact that the only person or thing or entity in my life that can transform my life for the better is you, okay? I recommend, in fact, reading this book. Will Durant, one of the best historians of our time, categorize events, categorize people, categorize everything, but this is a short, great read. It's about like 100 pages, the greatest minds and ideas of all time. What I like about Will Durant is like, you can see certain insights into people in a very short manner of time as opposed to reading their autobiography. So I recommend reading about these individuals who've transformed society, and you realize that it's never democracy that transforms society, it's the will of the few. It's a few people that take power in their own hand, whether that's good or bad, that transform society. So kind of rewinding back and talking about technology, yes, we need to study technology. Yes, we need to figure out the implications of, hey, if we have this AI, or let's not talk about AI, we'll get to that in a second, but let's say, hey, we got these robotic self-driving cars, because that's applicable as of today. We're gonna lose, say, in North America with trucking, with delivery, we're gonna lose roughly 2 million drivers for that job. Well, hold your horses. Don't start panicking right now and saying, oh my God, the world is coming to end. As opposed to saying, hey, I think that's for the better. I don't think so. Human beings should be sitting 16 hours behind the wheel, driving. It's unhealthy. It's very dangerous for other human beings, and a robot can do it much better. As opposed to, hey, let's figure out what kind of special skills you have. What kind of talent you have. What do you like to do as a human being? I don't think so. You like to sit down on your ass for 16 hours and drive a car. Nobody does, tell you the truth, okay? And if you do, I am sorry and I apologize, and you can send me an email and tell me that you do like it, okay? But moving forward in the future, we're gonna have to reprogram our brain to think differently. It's slowly happening because of the commoditization and democratization of information online. But the problem with this is because it's stimulation overload. There's too much information. You don't know how to filter through it. So what I'm telling you is this: do not stress out. Do not stress out. If you're looking statistically speaking, we're actually in the best period of human evolution. Poverty is down. Homelessness is down. Food scarcity is down. Everything is down. The quality of living globally has risen. The quality of humankind has risen globally. It's wonderful. Yes, there's still a lot of people. There's 2 billion people that don't have access to proper banking systems, that don't have access to proper digital identification. That's an issue that's being solved right now by technology. Yes, it's a fact. A lot of people still don't have access to food. Not the fact that food doesn't exist or the shortage of food, the logistics behind food, and people are solving that currently. People are waking up. The world is becoming a more peer-to-peer decentralized business commodity, how it was originally. Before industrialization and centralization came, you and I had our own business. You were, a locksmith, and I was like, forging metal. That guy was a leatherman, that guy was a shoeman, that guy was a farmer, that guy is a banker. Oh, all these different people working together. You get what I mean? I know I'm going hyperactive over here, but I just want you guys to understand that we're living in such amazing times, and technology is here for us, not the other way around. Technology is here for us, but it's up to you to understand that you gotta reprogram your mind and think completely differently. Okay guys, like I said before, I'm gonna be giving out Bitcoin, Ethereum. Put your address below, but don't just put your Bitcoin, Ethereum address. What I want you to do is share this video as well. And also, when you put your Bitcoin or Ethereum address, give me a recommendation for another video. So I'm gonna be coming out more of these vlog videos on a day-to-day basis. And that's it, guys. Peace.